in from Asian markets, and of course, for many of you that are dialing in from the North American markets as well. And of course, we have people dialing in from Mexico as well. So want to welcome all of you guys to the leadership session here. Once again, this is Steve Hyun, National Director. I'll be, of course, your host, your trainer, to be helping all of you, really help you have some good insight onto becoming a better leader, And, my mentor, Danny Bay, always told me, Steve, everything rises and falls on leadership, right? If you want to have a successful business, if you want your team to grow, it's all about leadership. I joined Riemann. Yes, Riemann was a great company. Yes, Riemann has a great product. Yes, Riemann has a great compensation plan. But at the end of the day, the main reason why I joined Riemann is because of Mr. Danny Bay. Why? Because of his leadership capability, because of who he is as a leader is the reason I joined, right? If it was anybody else, I probably wouldn't have joined. So understand that when you build your Riemann business in the future, the bigger the leader you become, the more people you can attract to your Riemann business as well. So I want to welcome all of you to our call. Welcome, Corey. Welcome, Eileen, our directors. Welcome, everybody, to the call. Good to see all of you. I know we have people even dialing in from the Philippines and Malaysia and Singapore. Great to see all of you on our call this morning. So let's talk about a few topics, and let's talk about how we can all advance ourselves in leadership. And at the end, of course, I have some announcements that's happening, of course, throughout the Riemann North America and, of course, Riemann Asia as well. So let's dive into leadership, okay? And let's talk about a few things and a few topics that has helped me grow in this industry and has helped me become a greater leader. And a lot of these philosophies is not something that I just made myself. It's just something that I've been learning along the way, listening to mentors and coaches, writing down my notes, listening from people like Mr. Jim Rohn, Mr. John C. Maxwell, and they talk about these type of things to help oneself become a great leader here with Riemann as well. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is, personal growth, right? Becoming the person I am today is not the same person I was from day one. Personal growth, meaning personal development, okay? All of you that are obviously doing Riemann today, yes, I know you guys are doing meetings and you guys are doing pop-ups and you guys are doing your one-on-ones and you guys are doing your meetings and all that. But at the end of the day, you also have to spend time a little bit every single day on developing yourself. See, success isn't something you pursue, it's something you attract by the person you become, right? You cannot change your destination overnight, but you could change the direction overnight as well. I remember when I first heard this many years ago, it really clicked to my head because at the time, I was in a stage in my life where things in my life I wasn't, where I wanted to be in life. I wasn't financially free. I wasn't that successful yet. I was not in the best condition of my life. And at that time, when my mentor told me this, it really hit me that I could change the direction of my life in a day. Of course, it doesn't change in a day, but I can change the course of my life in a day. And when I first got involved in the industry, meeting my mentor, meeting my coach, and learning the basics, that really changed the direction of my life. 13 years ago, I came into my first meeting not expecting much, right? I came into my first meeting and didn't expect much. I was not personally developed, right? But that first invitation, that first meeting changed the course of my life. And then I started working myself. I started reading books. I started listening to audios. I started improving all aspects of my life to become better in this industry, right? And I realized it was me becoming this person attracted people. Me becoming knowledgeable, me becoming a better leader, that attracted people. That attracted people to my team. So understand that once you develop yourself, and once you grow as an individual, that's going to actually help you get more people, right? That's going to help you get more people. So understand that success is something you pursue, isn't something you pursue, is something you attract by the person you become, okay? So you want to do maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes daily of personal development. Any chance I get, I'm always reading, I'm always listening to an audio or Spotify or YouTube or something to increase my intelligence and knowledge of the industry, about leadership, whatever the case may be, marketing, business, sales, whatever it may be. I'm always growing. I'm always learning, because the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you can teach your team members as well. So understand that for all of you today, yes, we're all working hard with Riemann, but it's not just about working hard with Riemann. You have to also work on your personal development skills and grow as a leader, grow your mind as much as possible. Let me tell you something. There's so much information out there. The more you start learning, you get blown away with how much information is out there. Understand one thing. The reason why today there's many people that are very successful and many people that are not, the ultra successful people just know how to become successful. They have the information here. That's it. If you knew how to do it, everybody would already be there, right? So all you have to do is keep learning, growing as an individual, and growing yourself as a leader as well. Also, you want to talk, you want to understand that there's always a challenge of setting goals, okay? Yes, you want to grow daily. Yes, you want to grow your mind daily, but you also need to set goals on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis as well. Goals are dreams with a deadline, right? Many people ask me, what's the difference? Well, a dream is just a dream, but if you actually put a deadline, okay, you put a deadline on when you want to achieve that, guess what? That becomes a dream, right? That becomes a goal because why? You have a set date on when you want to get it done. If you don't have clear goals, right, you're going to just drift away. So I like to always set four goals in my life, okay? I like to set personal goals. I like to set business goals, financial goals, and contribution goals. This is something where Jim Rohn always talks about. Set four goals in your four areas of your life. Set these four goals. What do you want to become? What do you want to do towards your business, financially, contribution to the community, right? Have these type of goals. And, I think if you focus on these goals, it's going to help you. And of course, Riemann, you got to ask yourself, what is your 90-day rank goal for Riemann? And why is it important? And right, it's not just about ranking up to become a team leader or maybe a director, but why is it important to you, right? You got to figure that out as well, right? Is it because of maybe you want to have a better life for your family, for your kids, right? Maybe you want to move to a nicer area so that your kids can go to a better school, or maybe you want to have a nice big house later and so that your kids can grow up in a nice house, right? Like we get a nice big house, not just for the nice big house, because having a nice big house is great because now you provide an environment for your kids to grow up in a nice environment as well, right? So that's why, of course, we want nice things and nice houses, right? But here, you got to set goals. You got to set a goal with Riemann on a daily, weekly, monthly basis and really focus on it so that you can actually achieve it, right? So whatever your goal may be, whether it's senior manager, whether it's team leader, whether it's director, senior director, national director, put a timeline on when you actually want to get it done. So many times in my career, I always put a deadline on, okay, I'm going to finish it by this day. But many times I didn't finish it by that day. But guess what I knew? Every time I didn't finish it, I got a little bit closer every time. I told myself I'm going to finish it this month. I didn't finish it. But you know what? I still got a little bit closer to my goals. Every month I was going for it. I remember when I was going for my director run, I was like short 70,000 BP and there was like 2 days left. I told myself I'm going to still go for it. I remember when I was like, I had tremendous goals. And even though I didn't hit it, I still went for it. Even though it seemed impossible, I still went for it. Even though I was like 100,000 short and I had like 24 hours left, 48 hours left, I said, I'm going for it, right? I kept setting goals, kept setting deadlines, and I kept missing, but it's okay because why? Eventually, I became a director. I remember when we first opened up America and we had our first convention, March of 2023. And the group of people that started with me, it was like 8 or 9 ladies, they all became directors except me. I was only a team leader. And I was so frustrated because everybody became a director except me, all faster than me too. And I said, you know what? I missed my deadline. It's okay. I'm not ready to become a director. But once my team develops, once I have a strong base, I'll become a director later. So eventually I hit director, right? Eventually I did it, right? Eventually became a senior director, become a national director. So understand that you got to set goals and you got to set deadlines, and that's going to help you along your journey with Riemann. Of course, working on yourself is great. Of course, setting goals is great, but you also got to work on the challenge of discipline. Jim Rohn always talks about challenge of discipline. Discipline weighs ounces, regrets weighs a ton, right? The secret to success is doing simple things consistently, even when it's boring, right? Your habits today create your results tomorrow. You have to create your own Riemann DMO. DMO stands for daily method of operation. Things you could do on a daily basis, right? How many people are you speaking to daily, right? How many meetings are you doing daily, right? How many guests are you inviting to a Zoom call or an in-person event, right? How many times are you posting on social media? You got to have a set daily method of operations, right? This is something you got to do on a daily basis. You can't just work 2 days and take 5 days off. You can't just work 3 days and take 4 days off. You got to have discipline every single day towards your Remon business. Like I said, when I started Remon till now, it was me doing consistently Zoom calls, presentations. Do you know how many Zoom call presentations I've done? So many. I say the same thing over and over, thousands of times, okay? I did probably more Zoom calls than anybody in Remon, North America and Asia, right? Because I did it so much, but it's the same thing, but I did it consistently. Simple things done consistently over and over. That's the secret to success, right? And it's my daily habits of doing those meetings, doing those Zoom calls that got my results today. It's because of what I did 6 months ago, 1 year ago, is for the results that I have today. So if you want to have good results in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, it all starts from today, but you got to have a discipline and you got to have your Remon DMO, your daily method of operation as well. So today or tomorrow, whatever you make the case may be, if you haven't had a routine for Remon, right? If you haven't been working on Remon on a daily basis, start doing it daily. I do Remon every single day. For me, honestly, it's not even work anymore. It's something I love doing now, talking to people, meeting people, doing Zoom calls and presentations. I love Remon. I love Remon. So this is not work for me, but it's something I do now on a daily basis, right? Also, understand that there's always going to be a challenge of your mindset, okay? While doing Remon, understand that you got to stand guard at the door of your mind. And what that means is this: you're going to get a lot of different negative influences and different things that goes into your ear, okay? You got to be good at guarding your mind and protecting your mind, okay? I love this, what Jim Rohn says: your life is your garden, your thoughts are your seeds. If your life isn't awesome, you've been watering the weeds, right? So it's so important where you spend your time on. It's so important to guard your mind and protect your mindset, okay? Protect your mindset, of course, at all costs, right? And most people, right, especially in Remon, they fail because of fear, right? Or self-doubt or negative thinking, right? That's why you have to protect your belief system. Choose who and what you listen to, right? Leaders, we must model emotional resilience, right? Especially when team members quit or stall. I just had a conversation with people recently, and there's like, hey, Steve, like, I invited so many people to a Zoom call, and only a few people showed up, which happens, of course, right? But even times like that, and when people are not moving, they're slow, right? It's okay. You still keep going. You still stay strong and you keep moving forward. Not everybody is going to do what you say. Not everybody is going to do what you do. That's okay. Not everybody's going to become a senior manager. Not everyone's going to become a team leader. It's okay. Not everyone's going to become get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 customers. It's okay. Not everyone's going to show up to a training. It's okay, right? I posted this that we have a training today. Not everybody showed up. It's okay. People will show, the right ones will always show up. I'll tell you that. The right ones will always show up. And understand, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, right? Many of you might have fear towards Remon, talking to people, right? Or what if she says this? What if he thinks what if he thinks weird about me because I'm doing Remon or I'm doing this type of company, right? What if like you're talking to yourself and you're talking about these, you're self-doubting yourself, and you're negative thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do this. This is not going to work out. Understand, you have to protect your own mind. You have a lot of self-talk and you always ask yourself, is this going to work out? Is this going to work out? Trust me in this. Start talking to yourself and telling yourself that it will work out, right? That you will make it happen, right? That you will prosper, that you will become a top leader in the company. Not just a top leader in the company, you're going to be a high income earner in this company as well, okay? Challenge of influence, right? This is another thing as well. We sometimes get around the wrong people. And when we start doing Remon, I see a lot of times when new people associate themselves with non-producers, right? Like they always say, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Yes, you can make friends in Remon. Yes, you have obviously We have different teams, and yes, we have people in different markets. But at the end of the day, you want to spend time with people that are producers, people that are making it happen, people that are actually in the trenches, working, meetings, pop-ups, launches, group calls, Zoom calls, right? People that are in the trenches and running. You want to go with them, because why? If you run with the runners, your influence changes. But if you're just socializing, hanging out with people that are not really producing and just chit-chatting and gossiping all the time, trust me on this, it's going to affect your business. It's like there was a study done where they put a top producer with a bunch of non-producers. The top producer automatically started slowing down no matter what, because of his environment, because of her environment. He automatic slowed down because of the people and influence they were part of. But if you're part of the group where there's actually a top producers, people are running, right? They're going above and beyond. Automatically, your results get much better just because of the influence and the people you surround yourself with. So understand that as you do your Riemann business, run with the runners. Go with the people that are active, people that are at the meetings, people that are showing up, people that are making it happen, people that are on the top 10, top 20 reports, right? The top leaders. Run with them, right? Yes, you could have friends, of course, with Riemann, but always study the people at the top. They're doing something right, right? So follow them, study them, and make that your influence versus the people that are not doing much, okay? The challenge of change, right? Another thing that my mentor always taught me as well. He said, Steve, for things to change, you got to change first. If you want a better life, you got to change first. He said, don't wish for easier circumstances, develop stronger skills and a better mindset. I used to always say things like, I wish this was easier. I wish I can get customers easier. I wish I can get team members faster. Why is it so hard? He's like, Steve, it's not the fact that it's hard. You don't have the skills yet. That's why it's hard for you. So he said, you got to build the skills, right? You got to have a better mindset. And guess what? It's going to be easier for you, right? I used to say things like, oh, this is so expensive. He said, Steve, it's not actually expensive. You're just broke. That's what he used to tell me. So it was wrong thinking, wrong mindset, right? I used to always think, oh, I wish things was easier. I wish things were better. He said, Steve, things could be easier. Things could be better. Just you got to change first. If you build a skill set, right? If you build a skill set and the mindset, everything becomes easier. So guess what I started doing? I started working on myself. I started becoming better. I started becoming better in talking to people and having conversations in my presentations and trainings, right? I started working on myself to become better. I started working on my craft to get better and better and better. And I knew that the only way I can get better is just by doing more. The more meetings I did, the more presentations I did, the better I became. So many people ask me today, hey, Steve, how is your English presentation so good? Every time you do an English presentation, it's always perfect. How is that possible? You know why it's possible? You know how it's so good? Because I've done it so many times. I've done it so many times, right? I could do it with my eyes closed. I don't even need a PowerPoint anymore because I've done it so many times. I'm sure sometimes I've been saying it in my dreams, talk about Riemann when I'm sleeping, right? Because why? I've talked about it so much already. It's a simple nature for me now too, right? So for all of you, understand that success is not found in comfort zones. It's found in decisions. Yes, sometimes you do these meetings, you travel, you do that, and sometimes it's not comfortable and you're going out of your way, but understand that's what it takes. If it was easy, everybody do it. If national director was easy, everybody would do it, right? But the reality is not everybody does, because not everybody is willing to go through, right, all the challenges to become a national director, right? So all of you have to remember one thing. You want your business to get better, you got to get better. You want things to change, you got to change first. You have to keep on developing yourself, build a stronger skill set and a stronger mindset, and that's going to help you, of course, become better in Riemann and better to grow in your business as well. Understand that you want to always lead by example, okay? Your team will do 50% of what you do, not 100% of what you say. It is so important that a lot of times when you do Riemann, you talk to people, you talk to your team, but they're not joining. They're not doing things. They're not getting customers. They're not building a team. Remember this. It's about what you do. People got to do what you do. There's a study done, right? You can be in a group of, you could be in a room of people, right? And you could do, you could do a study, and you could do, you know, there was a study that people say, hey, follow my hand and put it on your chin, but everybody didn't put it on their chin, they put it on their cheek, right? Which showed one thing. It shows that most people followed the other person, right? So I realized that at the beginning stages, in the beginning, people weren't following me, people weren't doing what I did. My mentor told me, Steve, be the example, lead by example. You want your team to do meetings? Show them you're doing meetings. You want your team to do pop-ups? You do pop-ups. You want your team to get a lot of customers? You get a lot of customers, right? So guess what I did? I started leading by example. I started doing meetings. I started doing presentations. I started doing everything I can because now people saw me work. People saw me moving fast. People saw me leading by example. Guess what they started doing? They started following me as well. So understand that the best way to lead is always by example. If you want your team to go fast, you go fast. If your team is slow, that just means that maybe you're slow as well. Be the standard, not the exception, right? You must show your team what consistent action looks like. Presentations, reach out, Zoom calls, pop-ups, right? You got to be that person. You got to be the chosen one. You got to be the one that leads for your team. You got to be the leader. The entire team is looking at you, right? Your entire future team is looking at you. They're seeing what you do on a daily basis. What are you posting on Instagram, on social media? Are you working? Are you showing your working posting? Or are you always just hanging out and having fun, right? Or are you just having a good time, right? You got to be the exception. Be the exception, right? Be the standard, not the exception, okay? Here are some of the scripts I laid out here. I'm gonna of course give you guys all a copy of everything that I'm sharing today in the chat. But you know, here are some basic scripts that all of you guys can follow on for let's say a Zoom invitation. And it's very simple, right? It's a very simple script. And when you master the basics, remember one thing: duplication builds wealth, not complexity. Okay, you don't want to make it so complex. Okay, it has to be simple. It got to be duplicatable. That builds wealth. Okay, once again, here's what I do. When you first get started, what do you got to do? You got to make a list. Make a list of people and message everybody and anybody. And this is what I did. Okay, hey, let's say for example, I was messaging Roseman. Hey, Roseman, got a question. I waited for the response. I never sent them a huge paragraph of so much information. I know sometimes you guys might do that, but this is what I did, okay? I sent people, hey, Roseman, got a question. I waited for the response. She says, hey, Steve, long time. How you been? I say, good. Everything is great. Want to ask you if you're interested in K-Beauty. Have you ever used K-Beauty Korean skincare? I waited for the response again. She said yes or no, or maybe I heard it's good. Then I said, hey, look, I'm working now with a top executive from the #1 K-Beauty company from Korea. You know, he's looking for a select few people that might be a good fit to work in the industry. And I thought about you. Remember, I said, he's looking for a select few, not everybody. I'm looking for a select few, right? Of course, she might say, oh, what kind of work is it? What will I be doing? Can you give me some more details? I say, hey, tomorrow, are you free at 6 p.m. to hop on a Zoom call? He's going to be going over all the information over the company, the products information, just 20, 30 minutes of your time. Can you hop on, right? Now, of course, she might just hop on, but she might also want more information. I'm not going to hop onto the Zoom call, Steve. I want more details, right? If she keeps on insisting, yes, you could send a little bit more details saying, hey, look, we're the #1 K-Beauty brand from South Korea, now expanding into the US, or you can say Mexico or Malaysia or Singapore, whichever country you're from. Through affiliates, influence, and distributors, you earn high commissions with flexible hours by promoting our products online or offline. Our HQ, our headquarters, you could say either is in Irvine, California, you can say Mexico City, you can say Hop Sing, Malaysia, you know, wherever the case, wherever you are, let me know if you're interested and I'll schedule a time to connect, right? So that's it. And you move on, right? If they keep on bugging you with more and more details, yes, you could send some pictures of our models and celebrities, and yes, you could do that. But what else you can do is just say, just trust me, just hop onto the Zoom call. I gotta go. Your job is not to do the presentation before the presentation. Too many people give out too much information before the meeting, right? Think about this. You want to be the movie trailer. You don't want to be the movie, right? How many times have you watched the movie because of a movie trailer? If the movie was already giving out the movie before the movie, why would you even go to the theaters, right? So understand, be the movie trailer, don't be the movie, okay? Now, if you are inviting them to a pop-up to meet with people, right? Once again, it's the same thing. You make a list and you message everybody and you say things like this. Hey, Corey, random question. Are you into Korean skincare at all? I wait for the response. Yes, no, maybe so, right? Whatever she may say. I say, look, #1 Korean skincare company from Korea just launched here, and the results have been incredible. Hey, this Saturday, I'm inviting a select few to come and get a free facial. I thought of you because, you're open-minded and sharp. If I invited you this Saturday, would you be able to make it, right? These are key words you want to use to send out an invitation, right? She might say, sure, Steve, I love Korean skincare. I would love to get a free facial. I'll be there this Saturday. Now, let's say she's bugging you with questions. Give me more details. Give me more details. Give me more details. I'm not coming this Saturday. I don't want to join. What is this all about? Look, give me more details about the product. What's so special about this product? If she asks you all these questions, here's what you can say. Look, it's a clean vegan skincare line that's all natural, cruelty-free, uses lava energy water instead of regular distilled water. It's full of skin-loving minerals. It's gentle, backed by science, and works deep into the skin, gives you a real glow fast. No harsh chemicals or fillers. Trust me, just come to Saturday and you'll see for yourself, right? So sometimes when someone bugs me with a lot of questions and more, I'll send them a little bit extra information so they can get a little better feel of exactly what our products are, who we are, and of course, a little bit about more details. And I just tell them, trust me, just come this Saturday. And that's it. Let them come to the Saturday event and to try the products out. Once again, your job is not to do a presentation before the presentation. Your job is not to tell them, hey, you can make 10, 20, 30, 45% commissions. Hey, we're #1 in South Korea. We do this. You can sign up people, recruit people. You don't want to be that type of person. You want to be the type of person that bees the movie trailer, invites them out, and has the meeting. Let the products sell itself. Sometimes you might say too much information and you might scare the person off. You might say things like, yes, we're an MLM and we love recruiting people and we do this and that. And, to become a senior manager, yeah, it's only $6,600. Yes. And you blur about way too much details and you scare the person off. Don't do that. Remember, give them just enough information. If they're interested, they'll show up. If they're not interested, move on to the next person. Every time somebody was not interested, you know what I did? I just moved on to the next person. I didn't waste a single breath on somebody that was not interested. I moved on, and I did it so fast, right? That's why I didn't have downtime in my business because I kept moving forward and talking to people that were interested. Let me tell you something. You talk to enough people, the right people will always show up and always say yes, okay? Your team doesn't need a perfect leader. They need a growing one. Your example is the system. Remember this. When you guys develop yourself as leader, they're not looking for a perfect leader because there's no such thing as a perfect leader, okay? They want to see somebody that's working on themselves. They want to see someone that's improving themselves. They want to see someone that's actually doing the meetings, helping their team win, helping their team get promoted, helping their team get customers, right? That's what people are looking for. They're looking for a leader that can do that. So if you want to be a great example, you want to be that type of person, they need to see you working on yourself, growing as a leader, and of course, being the example for your team as a great leader as well. And of course, you want to stay consistent no matter what. The most powerful leadership trait is consistency. You guys understand that I told all my leaders from day one, right? Every leader, everywhere I went, when I was just a director, I just hit director, I was #1 team leader, and everyone asked me, Steve, how did you become #1 team leader in America your first year? There were 785 team leaders our first year. And these 785 team leaders were from South Korea, US, people that already were part of Reman way back then. And they always had a lot of skincare experience, med spa owners, estheticians, but out of 780 team leaders, I still went #1. Here's the one reason why I went #1. I was consistent on my Reman business every single day. While some people worked 5 days and took 2 days off, I worked 7 days. While some people worked 6 days and took 1 day off, I worked 7 days. I worked on my Reman business every single day consistently. It didn't matter, if I had a lot of business today, it didn't matter if I signed up a lot of people. I was consistent working on it day by day, night by night, month by month, week by week. And it didn't matter if it rained or shined. It didn't matter how I felt. It didn't matter if my emotions were down that day. I worked on my Reman business every single day. I knew that every single day, my job is to go out there and help people, help my team, find new business partners, look for new people, help new people every single day. And that's why I became #1 in the company. It's not the fact that every month in America, I was always #1. There were some months I was #1, some months I was #2, some months I was #3, #4, #5. But every month I was always top 5, top 4, top 3, top 2, top 1. A lot of people, they have maybe 6 months of success, and then remaining 6 months, they drop down. Some people have 8 months of success, and they have 4 bad months. Or some people have 3 months of good success, 2 months down, 3 months back up, and it's like a roller coaster for many people, right? So, but for me, I never had a bad month Remont since day one. Can you believe that? Since day one, my past 2 years, I never had a bad month, meaning I never had, it was good, drop down and back up again. Good, back down. I never had a roller coaster Remont since day one. My business, starting from the very beginning, it was great, better, consistent, better, consistent, better, consistent, better, consistent, better, consistent, better, right? And the reason why is because I stayed consistent. It didn't matter if my team worked or didn't work, I was gonna work. It didn't matter if my team was doing meetings or not doing meetings, I'm gonna do meetings. It doesn't matter if my team was getting customers, not getting customers, I'm gonna get customers. I'm gonna do Zoom calls, I'm gonna do meetings, I'm gonna lead by example. That was why I became number one in the company, right? So for all of you, remember this, stay consistent as much as possible. I know life is busy. I know, some of you are busy with kids, your job, your full-time job. You're saying, Steve, I'm a mother, I have kids, I'm busy, I'm traveling, I have work. I can't do what you do. Let me tell you something. There are people today that are mothers, busy mothers, single mothers, people in all different backgrounds, still doing Remont and winning big with Remont. Let me tell you something. There is absolutely no excuse, okay? Excuses. Remember, it's either results or an excuse. You can't do both. You can't do both. Every time someone gives me an excuse, I'm like, look, do you want an excuse or do you want results? Don't give me both. Don't tell me it was because of this, right? It's either two options. Not two options, sorry, it's only one option. Either results or excuses. You can't do both, right? You can't say, oh, because of this, I didn't do this. Because of this, I didn't do well in Remont. Because of this, I didn't do well. Because of these sites, I didn't do well in Remont. Because my team quit, I didn't do well in Remont. Because my customers said no to me, I didn't do well in Remont. Let me tell you something. We all go through the same problems. Trust me, I go through tons of problems. I go through tons of issues, but I don't let that affect me. Because why? There's millions of people out there. I don't care if someone complains and there's customer issues, or, I mean, of course I care for my customers. I'm saying if someone complains about this or that, I go through that all the time, but I don't let that get to me, right? I don't let that be an excuse. If some of my team members don't work, that's not the reason why I'm going to not work as well. If they don't work, let them not work. You still work. Some of them didn't get customers. Some of them didn't get promoted. Some of them didn't attend the convention. It's okay. I'm still going. I'm still attending the convention, right? But you have to stay consistent. No matter what happens to your business, no matter what happens to your life, you got to stay consistent with your Remont business. And I understand you can have personal issues. You could have stuff where, let's say, stuff happens to family, right? I understand something could happen with family. I get it. Things happen. We all go through personal family issues as well. But once again, the most powerful leadership trait is consistency. Even when life happens or people quit, you show up. Your emotional stability builds trust and long-term momentum. I'll tell you that right now. The reason why people are with us right now is because they know that I don't let emotions get to my business, right? And this is the reason why we created long-term momentum for the XS group, right? Promote events relentlessly. I love events, okay? Events builds faster than anything else. Treat every Zoom, every launch call, every live training like it's life-changing. Get your team in the room no matter what. Remember this, belief builds in community, okay? You gotta have events. We had many events past 30, 45 days. Mexico, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, everywhere we had so many events. And that's the reason why your team grows. That's the reason why your business grows, because of events. And guess what? We have so many more pending events coming where you want to utilize those pending events to grow your business, okay? Events is the key to building your business, okay? And protect your energy and focus. Remember, in this industry, your energy is your currency here, right? We all have a certain amount of energy we can give out every single day. You got to protect it, right? Avoid the drama, time wasters, negative energy, stuff like that. It drains me, right? drama, time waste, all that negative stuff, it drains you, right? You don't got time for that. So as soon as there's any issues, try to get rid of it as soon as possible. Focus on the builders, not the complainers. You know, complainers, that drains your energy too, right? Of course, we go through that all the time. I have people complain to me all the time. It's normal. I get it. I deal with it because why? I'm a leader. I'll help them out. I'll deal with it. But I like to focus on builders. I like to focus on runners. I like to focus on what the production is. But remember this, it's not your job to do the work for them. It's your job to guide them. You can't do everything for them, right? Danny Bay always talks about it. When you're doing a presentation with a brand new person, you know, in the beginning, yeah, you'll do 100% of it, right? Maybe the second presentation, you know, let them do 25%, you do 75%, right? Maybe the third presentation, let them do 50%, you do 50%. Maybe the fourth presentation, let them do 75, you do 25. And the fifth one, let them do 100%. Remember, your job is not, you can't just do it for them every time forever. You know, you got to let them grow. You got to let them grow, and you got to let them know how to do things, the basic things, presentations, meetings, right? You got to K pop-ups, product demonstrations. You got to teach them. You got to guide them, but it's not your job to do everything for them. Okay. And remember, when in our group chats and events, if you have something negative to say or you want to complain about something, don't say it in the group chat because that can affect everybody in the group chat. Maybe you had an issue, maybe you had a problem, but just because you had a problem doesn't mean that you want to tell the entire world in the group chat that you had a problem. Talk to your sponsor directly about any issues or questions or concerns so it doesn't affect others. The culture of your team and business is critical to growing your business. It's all about culture, guys. You don't want to have a group chat of people just complaining. You want positive things in a group chat, promotions. You want to talk about events and promotions, and you want to talk about things that are positive and uplifting in a group chat, not negative stuff in a group chat as well. And you guys know that right now, of course, we have, of course, upcoming pending events. Let's see here. So this slide is not showing here, but pretty much this slide was for, we have an excess event in Malaysia on Monday, May 26th from 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. So of course, you guys saw some of the information on that. So everybody that's in the Malaysian market, we'll be there. We'll have an excess event that Monday, the 26th, 2 events, presentations. I'll be there as well. Of course, many leaders are going to be there as well. And of course, we'll have a TL dinner and that just passed. But we also have a Las Vegas event this upcoming Sunday, in Las Vegas. We also have a New York event happening May 8th as well in Lower East Side Manhattan. So if you have people in the New York area, you can let them know that they're coming. I'll put them, of course, in the list, and I'll get to meet all of your guests in New York. So I'll be in Vegas this Sunday. We're going to have a Vegas event. We're going to have a New York event as well. So if you have people in New York, they can attend the New York event as well. And of course, we have Mexico grand opening at the office May 12th and May 13th. May 12th event, it's going to be for managers and hires. So if you're a manager and hire, you could attend the event on May 12th, which is happening at 12 p.m. Mexico time, not 12 p.m., sorry, 6 p.m. Mexico time on May 12th. It's going to be in a tour of the facility. We have a little bit of cocktail hour on May 12th. And then on the 13th, there's a training for senior managers and hire in Mexico with Mr. Danny Bay. I'll be down in Mexico as well, May 12th and May 13th. And then afterwards, I'm going to be going to Cabo, 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, Mexico as well. And then flying out, of course, to Asia, because we have our grand opening for Hong Kong office, May 24th, at the new office in Hong Kong. So it's going to be pretty exciting that we finally have an office in Hong Kong. I'll be there on the 23rd. We'll be meeting up with the leaders on the 23rd in Hong Kong as well. And here it is. Here's a Remont Access Malaysia event. May 26th, House of Remont Malaysia, 2 p.m. We're going to do an English and Chinese presentation. 6 p.m. we'll be having an English presentation for Monday, May 26th. So excited to be there with all of you in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. We also have more events on the 28th of May and 29th of May as well. 28th will also be at the Malaysia Remont office. There's going to be a leadership training. There's going to be a leadership dinner. And of course, a presentation at the office as well. And Mr. Danny Bay will be there. Of course, Mr. Brian Lam, our GM for Malaysia, Singapore will be there as well. Singapore, I'll be in Singapore as well for these events. So Singapore, May 29th, we'll have a leadership training, leadership dinner, and a presentation and recognition, of course, for all the leaders on the 29th as well in Singapore. So for everyone that's in Singapore, looking forward to seeing you guys in Singapore. Everybody in Malaysia, looking forward to seeing you in Malaysia. Mexico, looking forward to seeing all of you in Malaysia and Mexico as well. But remember to qualify for some of these events, for Malaysia and Singapore, you want to become a team leader so you can attend the leadership trainings and of course the dinner as well. I remember back then when Mr. Danny Bay was doing a leadership training, and you had to be a team leader or higher, like we did whatever we could to become a team leader higher. It didn't matter how many days or nights or hours we worked. The information that he teaches, that information is so much more valuable than the time and meetings that I've done for a few weeks, because all I was hungry was information to get better, to get more knowledgeable, to become a better leader, right? And I wanted to be around top leaders and top producers to get the information, to get the trainings, because I knew that was going to help me become a director and senior director and national director. So do whatever you can. And of course, your leaders and myself will help you become, a team leader, or if you're in Mexico, at least a senior manager, so you could attend those events as well. So, hopefully today helped all of you guys with some good insight on some leadership topics, leadership trainings, and helped all of you kind of give you guys a game plan of what everybody should be doing into growing yourself and growing your team as well. Remember this, my best advice for everyone is always work on yourself, become a better version of you. We all know that you're not at the best, you're not at the very best version of yourself yet. We know that right now, but you could think about the best version of you, right? You could think about a better speaker, better trainer, a better mindset, right? A better everything. We know we can improve. We know we can get better. All of you can get better. All of you can become greater leaders here with Remont in our company. But you have to work on yourself every single day. Today, when I tell people, look, yes, it's great to become a national director. Yes, the money is great, right? Yes, the title, everything is great. But what I'm more thankful for and more grateful for is the person that I became as a national director. The person I developed today is nowhere close to the person I was back then. I was a totally different person. If you knew me back then, you will be like, impossible for Steve to make it here. Yes, he had big dreams. Yes, he had big goals. But at the same time, I didn't have a plan. I was not personally developed. I was not the best leader back then, right? I wasn't the best speaker back then. I wasn't the best trainer back then. I was not the best anything back then, right? But guess what I did? I started working myself. I started improving everything that I could. And the more that I improved, the better that I became, the better my team became. And that's why I knew that, you know what? I got to keep growing. I can't stop. I got to keep growing and growing, become a good leader, become a better leader, keep teaching my team and help my team become better leaders as well. And once you become a great leader, and once you start developing great leaders, that's going to be the ultimate true success. When you go out there and change other people's life for better, that's called making significance. Success is for you. Significance is for someone else, right? So when you can become at that level of helping people change their life for the better because of Remont, because of becoming a great leader, that's the ultimate level of success. And becoming a servant leader and helping people day in and day out. And that's pretty much been the most thankful thing for me today, seeing so many people win, seeing so many people change their life for the better because of Remont. So many of the leaders you see today that there are now national directors and senior directors, just a year, 2 years ago, they were not at that position, but now they are. But I'm looking forward to helping many of you guys, of course, becoming a national director with Remont. I know that all of you that are on this call today can become a national director. Don't ever settle for less. Don't just settle for a team leader. Don't just settle for director. Don't just settle for senior director. Minimum national director. Minimum national director. If I can do it, if Jackie and Winnie can do it, if Frey can do it, all of you can all become national directors with Remont. You just got to put in the work, stay consistent, keep growing yourself, help your team, and do whatever you can to get plugged into all the future leadership meetings as well. So thank you all for joining our leadership session today. I will send the recording out, and I'll send you out my slides as well, so that you guys can see everything that I wrote on the slides on a PDF as well. So, of course, we will continue these events and trainings as well. Of course, I'm going to be traveling again starting this Sunday. So looking forward to seeing everybody in the next markets in Vegas, in Mexico, in New York, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys. Have a good day. Have a good night. We'll see you guys on the next call. God bless.